11 minutes in front of the hour. I'm Michael Smerconish from Philadelphia. It's the Big Talker 1210 WPHT and being simulcast all this week on MSNBC. Coming up momentarily, Samantha Slater will be here. She wrote something that I really got a kick out of for the Politico. I got poor Samantha Slater being tortured with this level of conversation.
You killed me, man. You
all
killed
right.
me.
Hey, your news chick is still doing her job, okay?
Yeah, well, why don't you go find a juggler for
Maybe.
tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll put that on in the second hour of the program. Hey, Samantha Slater from the Politico. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Michael. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm thrilled to chat it up with you. You know, I love the analysis of, like, if you're driving a Hummer, you're probably a Republican. And I actually have polling data that suggests that that's the case. And if you're driving a Prius, you're probably an independent or a D. And if you have an F-150 like I have, you're an R. Now I understand from you that you look at the Yankees and the Mets and you can tell a lot about a person based on who they root for. What's the deal?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm from New York originally, and I've heard this stereotype growing up. You know, just people around me have always said, you know, Yankees fans are the Westchester Republicans and Mets fans are the Long Island and Queens Democrats. And, you know, I get to Washington, and I'm still a big baseball fan. And here I'm working at this newspaper, and I said, hey, what's the deal? You know, what's going on here? So did some research into the topic and found some really interesting you know, data to support that theory.
Well, everything that I know about George Steinbrenner, I learned from George Costanza. But it seems to me that Steinbrenner, you know, fits the Republican fat cat mold. So I guess that helps your theory, right? Because if you're, you know, Republican fat cats, those are the Yankees. And the working men, they're the Mets. Yeah,
well, definitely. I mean, Steinbrenner was indicted in '74 for making illegal contributions to Nixon.
A little Enron action there. Right?
So, you know, you got to say, oh, okay, he's making these donations to Republicans. And then you go even further and you see he has this really conservative-leaning attitude towards his whole team. He makes his players cut their hair short and shave off their goatees. I mean, you saw... yeah, it's a real difference from the Mets.
In other words, there's like a stylistic element to the Yankees versus the Mets, where the Yankees are more the button-down. Well, they're wearing the pinstripes. They got the IBM uniform, now that I'm thinking about this. And they got the you know, like A-Rod's got the short haircut, and so do the rest of them. It all makes sense to me now.
Right, and it's funny because the Mets were actually, in 2005, when Willie Randolph became the manager of the Mets, he said, okay, you know, I'm going to try to be like the Yankees, and we're going to put a real emphasis on playing the game well and not concentrating on, you know, haircuts and such. So he made all his players cut their hair short, shave their goatees, shave their beards and mustaches. And then come 2006, he said, okay, this isn't really working. Our players are who they are, you know, real emphasis on the individual. And here, Willie Randolph sports a goatee this season. So.
Hey, Samantha, what do you drive?
What do I drive?
Yeah.
I don't drive. I take public transportation.
That's
actually.
a Democrat. Come on, that's a liberal.
No,
it's got to be.
I don't have political opinions.
What do you drink?
What do I drink?
Yeah, after hours.
Wine and beer.
Wine and beer. All right. Well, so you're a switch hitter because the beer puts you in the R camp and the wine is definitely a D thing. You don't happen to know Meatloaf, do you?
No, I don't know Meatloaf.
All right. Well, you have an email that's apparently outstanding to Meatloaf. Hey, thanks for being here. I love what you write on the Politico.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me, Michael.
That's Samantha Slater. We're back in just a moment.